At the beginning of each game, you only start with one settlement. So what you want to do is you want to scout for settlement spots. So you want to start out by creating some scouting units, which are usually made up of the units that don't require any structures to be built to recruit them. And you attach your Kohans, and you usually want to attach your most powerful Kohans. And then once your units are healed, you begin scouting for settlement spots. Settlement spots are usually in a triangular arrangement on the map. So as you're looking for settlement spots, once you find your first settlement spot, the next one probably isn't too far behind. You probably also notice that as I'm scouting for settlement spots, I have my companies in skirmish mode. Now the reason for doing this is because skirmish mode increases the company's detection range to its maximum. That way, it will be more difficult for me to actually miss a settlement spot in my scouting. Depending on the strength of your Kohan and what race you are, sometimes a single company can actually clear a settlement by itself. It usually helps if the Kohan is a really strong melee Kohan, or in this case, a healer Kohan. Now I've just cleared my first settlement spot, so I'm probably could take a good guess at saying that the next settlement spot would be somewhere in this area, and then perhaps somewhere within this area. Like I said before, it's in somewhat of a triangular shape on the map. While you're scouting for settlement spots, you might run into a mountainous region. Now, if you run into a mountainous region, it greatly decreases the chances that there's a settlement spot within that area because of the fact that the mountains take up so much space on the map. This also includes a region which has a lot of tech buildings or lairs. Movement within the game, on the other hand, is fairly simple. You have 3 different selections for your mode of movement, and the first one is column mode, and what column mode does is it increases the company's speed to its maximum, but reduces the company's attack efficiency. So say that I wanted to settle this spot up here with these settlers, but I wanted to do it in a hurry, so I would put them in column mode, and then I would click settle the spot, and they would arrive at the spot much faster. On the other hand, like I said before, if I wanted to scout for more spots, I would put them on skirmish mode, which maximizes the detection range, but also decreases my attack efficiency, but not as much as if they were in column mode. If I were planning to attack a structure or an enemy company, I would put my units on combat mode. This decreases my speed greatly, but it increases my attack efficiency to its maximum. So before I attack this structure, I'm going to put my units in combat mode, and then tell them to attack the structure. This way they have a much better chance of actually defeating and capturing the structure than if I had them in one of the other modes of movement. Some other important things to know about movement is being able to retreat your troops. When you click on a company while it's in battle, you have a couple different options. You can run them, or you can rout them. Now, the difference is that running them, you can select a exact location for them to go to. Say that this company was very low in health and I wanted to stop it from getting destroyed, so I would press run, I'd choose my location, and then that company would switch to column mode and run to that location, away from the battle. Now, if I wanted to rout my company, I could do that, but it's probably not as good of a decision because routing a company just sends them in a random location. So if you're panicking while you're in a battle, you just press route and they will run from the battle, but you probably won't have any idea of where they're going to end up. While you're commanding your units in battle, you want to pay attention to your unit morale. The morale is located under the company info box, and it's at the very bottom. It's a blue bar, and the level of the blue bar, depending on how full it is, it tells you how much morale your company has. Once the morale bar drops below this certain box point on the morale bar, then your company will automatically run from the battle. During a battle, you also want to pay close attention to your company's morale. If you allow the morale bar to drop below the point where the company will rout from the battle, then you will lose control over all further movement of the company until it regains its morale. At times during a battle, you may have a company that is fully healed but has very low morale and keeps running from the battle. So in order to increase the company's morale, you send them to a location that is safe, and then you press the stop button, which is located in the company commands, and you let the company sit there, and the morale will slowly refill. The amount of morale a company has is also determined by what units are within the company. For example, a pikeman has less morale than a swordsman. So if you have a swordsman company with supports and a Kohan, it would have more morale than a company of pikemen with supports and a Kohan. While playing with other races, such as Shadow or Undead, the morale box is set much lower than with most other races, so this company could be down just to the captain and wouldn't run from battle because of the fact that the point where the company routs is so far down on the morale bar. There are also certain spell effects within the game which can help to increase a company's morale. For example, this Kohan has the inspiration spell, which adds a 33% slower morale loss to the company. Also, different supports for different races help to decrease the loss of morale during a battle.